Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here. How are you guys? How are you doing today? Oh my goodness, it's getting close to Christmas and I think, don't take me to the bank on that, but I think this is my last Christmas project for this year to show you how to make something. And I have this gorgeous tree topper. Is that just the sweetest? Let me show you the back. And this obviously, that sets down over your top tree. Okay. Now, I made this yesterday, and I did one so that I could try to remember, and I've never done one like this, but I remember as a girl growing up, we had the most gorgeous, sweet little angel girl, and she was our tree topper. And I looked on Pinterest the other day to find something similar, and I found those that were like what I grew up with. And they just were so sweet, but obviously, they're collectors and it's really hard to come by them. And so I decided I would make my own that was similar. And so this is what I have come up with. And I absolutely love her. So this is what we're making today. And so let me give you the supplies that you're going to need. And we will get started. So you're going to need, I used my glue gun for this because of the extra strength. I want this to last for many years. So, but I've also used, let's see, let me get things out as I'm talking about them. I'm going to set my sweet little angel aside right now. I have used some Mod Podge. I have doilies. I have Tinsel. Okay, so the Mod Podge, it doesn't matter whether it's matte or gloss or whatever it is, because you are going to, if you do it the way I am doing mine, I'm using these, this is Recollections Glitz Blank Rose, and it's not it's a long glitter instead of long and skinny, but not really. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just trying to give you a good look at that. But some kind of glitter, some kind of something to add some sparkle to it. And I have that, and then I have used the sunflower and this. Let's see, just one sec. I forgot over here. I left a couple of things. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and I like to use my 40% off coupon, and I like to get things when they're on sale. Right now in my Hobby Lobby, these Christmas poinsettias that I've used, and I think it's just gorgeous. It takes 3, and the package comes with 6, was 66% off the $4. So I think anyway, for about $1 or a little bit less, anyway, under $1, you can do one. So these I got in Hobby Lobby. I also picked up a plastic cake board, 3 count, and I got the wrong size, but you would want, I got a 6-inch, you would want a 4-inch. Make a note of that, okay? Because I cut this down, one of these down, and it was hard cutting through this plastic. It's like, wow, this is tough. This is sturdy stuff. This is sturdy. But I wasn't going to go back to the store, and so I just cut it back. I cut it down. All right, so you need that. You will need some doilies. These are 6-inch that I also got. I got these in the cake decorating section of Hobby Lobby. This and these, they were all in the, anyway, they're in there, the kind of in the same area. And I got these, which, let me move this stuff out of the way. These are the background, and they're 8-inch paper doilies, but it's all gold, kind of a gold foil. But it's finish, let's see, that's more than one. Well, let me try to separate that so you can, and 16 comes, so that's a good amount. So you'll have plenty of leftover for other projects, or, you know, to make for a friend if you want to. So this is one, and that's, you can see the back of it here, and my tinsel is just kind of covering that. It's just a nice little backdrop. It's a pretty backdrop. So you'll need one of those, one of these, only, like I said, 4-inch instead of 6-inch. Let me put this other stuff off to the side so we don't get inundated with things over here. You will need one of these 8-inch doilies. I'll move the rest of that off to the side there. You're also going to need a toilet paper roll insert, empty, you know, the cardboard that's left. You're going to need a piece of white copy paper so you can cover this. You're going to need some glues, and you're going to need something. This is what I used. This is a this is Bernat boa yarn, white, that I used, and I crocheted my little, what do you call this? Her little cloud, or her little dress, or anyway, the sweet textured, oh, and this is so pretty. What they did originally, the original ones came with angel hair, which is spun fiberglass. And then there were angel hair, a stiffer angel hair that went out, that fanned out like this, only instead of being soft like this, it was very stiff. And sometimes it would be in a scallop around. And then here, where I've got this white crocheted yarn, they had a whole bunch of bunched up in curlicues, the angel hair. And I didn't see one with poinsettias, gold poinsettias, but I did see a lot of them that had gold stars. And so that's another option. And I did purchase a couple of different types of stars, but I love this. And so that just lets you know that you've got some other things that you can do. And if you don't have something like this, some type of a sweet white. You might try some lace, layering a little bit of lace. You just kind of have to experiment with it, maybe some more doily. It's nice to have the texture. And I used to be able to buy snow that had glitter and sparkle in it that you could put on. And I made it look like a Santa's beard. And I haven't been able to find that. But I had thought about using that as well. So just something to do this pretty little shawl or cloud. And this is what I'm using. What else? Scissors and glue. And, oh, and let me get it out. And you need angel images. I have this. I put this in my Etsy shop. It's $1 for the download, and I did identical. And this is exactly, I have cut this out. This is exactly what I did for my girl. You can see that I painted her wings gold. I used this, a brilliant metallic luster. It's treasure gold. But anything that way that you want to use, what I was trying to do was to give more contrast for the white doily. You can see the difference, but you don't have to paint the wings if you don't want to. And I had also thought about that I could have glittered up on my wings too. I didn't. So we'll see when we do this one how we finish this. And then this has a hole in it that, you know, was used as an ornament or a tag. And what I did was just put kind of like a sweet little halo-y with some white and some yellow of the glitter to give it a shine. And then, of course, I covered the doily to give it that sparkle so that it stood out a little bit more. Okay, I think those are the supplies. Oh, one more thing, sorry. I have, this is a chipboard, or, well, it's a cardboard, but it's not super heavy, but it's a good weight so that it gives body to the doily, because this doily is fairly flimsy. And I wouldn't want to glue my covered tissue roll to the doily itself. And so this gives it stability right there. Okay, and the tinsel. And I also picked this up in Hobby Lobby. This was in the party supply place. And it's perfect for this. So pretty. Okay, now, and on the gold doilies, you're going to need 2 of those, because one of them we're going to cut down to go around our 6-inch doily right here to frame it. And then the other one will be the backing. Okay, did you get all that? Go ahead, put the video on pause as much as need be. And we will get started. I'm going to put my angel topper here where I can look it up for reference. Move my supplies out of the way. And I am putting down some freezer paper as well, just to keep from getting glue and that type of thing on my mat. For the circle, I didn't tell you this either. Let me get one of the doilies. All right. this is how I determined, I kind of gauge where my middle might be. And then I bring my compass. This is a compass. And maybe you have some other way. And I am just making a circle. And actually, that could be a little bit bigger. I want it to be fairly good sized because I want it to be a good sturdy background. And this is going to be a good size. So, and you won't see that. And so that's why I did that first. And then I will come to my paper. Aren't these cool? I haven't used this for years. And I will tell you that when I cut this down, I did so by also finding my compass, and I made a smaller circle. Let's see, is that the... to go inside. And I think that will work. Don't worry about this part just yet. And if you bought the right size of circle, you don't have to worry about this particular step. Okay. Now, before we get started, I want to thank you for being here. I love you guys. It's so fun to be together and chat and just see what's going on in everybody's lives. And I want to show you something very quickly. Here is my last batch of fudge for the season. Between hubby and I, we made a total of, well, if you count the fails, we had 3 fails. But we took notes and wrote them down on the recipes so that next year we won't have to go through that fail part again. But then we made six batches of fudge, and this is the 6th batch. This one has nuts in it. All the others are without. Most of my family loves the fudge without nuts, but I have one son that loves it with the walnuts, and so I always make one batch. And actually, hubby and I prefer it with the walnuts too, but we really shouldn't have it. But I just wanted to show you guys. It really does work. And I do the plastic. I put it in my pan and I coat it with the saran wrap or whatever, that plastic wrap, and spritz it with just a little bit of the spray that we use for cooking and stuff, the oils, the spray, just very lightly so it won't stick to the plastic either. And then I will just lift this out. I'm not going to do it yet because this is going to go back in the fridge to finish cooling and hardening. But then I will take it out this way, and it's clean and comes from the pan very nicely. Okay, sorry. I just had to show that to you. And I also want to welcome anybody that's new to my channel. I am so glad you're here. I hope you will have a fun time with us. And let's get started, guys. Okay, so I am cutting out my cardboard or thin chipboard, or anyway, whatever this is called. I'm cutting my circle that's going to be a lining that's going to back, I guess, my gold foiled doily. And actually, I don't know that that's really a foil, but it's gold. Alrighty. Looks like today we may not see the sun. I love the sun. Okay, set that aside. Trying to think of what order to do these things in. And a lot of this, it really doesn't matter. But let's go ahead and work on the front, and then we will do the tissue paper roll. That's very easy. Okay. Oh, I keep coming up with things that supplies that I'm forgetting to tell you, and I do apologize. But I have also used a spray glue to do some of my gluing, because the doily is beautiful and intricate, and I didn't want to, damage that in any way. I found it was just easier to spray the glue on and then lay it down when it came that time. Okay, first thing we're going to do is put our backing on our gold foil doily, and for this I'm going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue, and we'll just see. Should come out okay. So, are you ready? Are you ready for Christmas this next week? Oh my goodness, you guys. I mean, this has been such a different year, and yet the year's almost over. Can you believe it? We are almost officially in 2021. I had to think about that yesterday. I was like, is it 2120? Is it two? How do I write that on my checks and different things that way? Okay, see what I did? I just glued that down. I tried to center it as much as possible. There. Okay. First step done. Now we're going to work on the doily before we do more gluing and whatnot, because the doily, the white doily, because I'm confusing myself perhaps with you. I want to do this one. It's going to need to dry for a little bit of time, and we can work on other things while it's drying. So that's going to be the next step. Put that away again. So let's get this out. I want this right side up, and I'm trimming off. You know how sometimes doilies come and there's just a teensy little bit of something on there? Okay, that looks pretty good. So I will get a paintbrush. I will get my Mod Podge. I will get my glitter ready. So the way I'm going to do this, because when I'm doing it, I may not say anything, so I'm sharing this with you now, so pay attention. Pay attention. Or not. Whatever floats your boat, my friends. And you might be doing something completely different, and that's cool. I love it. That's good. Just, I love you being here hanging out, whatever. Okay. I'm going to glue this, and I'm not going to worry about putting the Mod Podge in here because this is going to be covered up. I want to make sure that my lacy part is covered with the Mod Podge. Then I'm going to carefully transfer it to this paper where I will sprinkle the glitter on, which will give me this that I can try to recover leftover glitter. I hope that made sense. Oh, and I do need a rag just to wipe things up. Sorry for just a second. Let me grab around the corner here a clean rag. I dirtied the one I was using yesterday. And I will spritz this. I keep a spray bottle of water handy just for cleanups. What can I say? Especially when I'm dealing with glitter, because I'll tell you what, guys, my floor, I had to, instead of just sweeping it, man, I vacuumed the sucker out of it yesterday because I was sliding on glitter. You know how glitter goes. I know you do. All right. So let's get started on this. And I'm going to actually take the lid off that and set that to the side. Now I want to make sure I'm getting a pretty good coating. I don't want to be selfish with my glitter. I want to make sure that I'm covering it well. And it's going to leave a lot of the Mod Podge, or I suppose any type of a collage, medium that you use. That's just what I use. Okay. Now, let's move that over just a tad bit. Let's bring in this paper. Carefully lift. And now we will sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the clouds so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Woo! That got a bunch, didn't it? I have been surprised, you guys. I've had these little glitter containers for quite some time. I think I bought them like in a set where you get a whole bunch. And so I have a whole bunch of different colors. And now I'm just going to kind of press that down just a little bit with my hand. And the glitter begins. And I'm going to wipe my hand off. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to wipe my freezer paper off. I'm actually trying to show you how to do this with as little mess as can be, understanding that, you're working with glitter here. So we know from experience, those of us who have played with glitter, that you're never going to be perfect with it. It just doesn't happen. But look at that. Is that just shimmery and pretty? All right, so we're going to set that aside so that can dry. And we are going to attempt to recover as much of this glittery goodness as we can back into the little tube, the little container. But this has lasted for actually several years. I mean, granted, I don't put glitter on everything. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just tossing that away. Glitter grows. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to try to just tackle that. And we will put the lid back on. And I will put my paintbrush in some water to keep it soft so it doesn't dry out. Okay, so now that needs a little bit of time to dry. So let's go ahead and switch gears and let's cover our tube. Measure your tissue paper roll, how wide it is. Mine is 4 inches wide, so I'm going to cut my strip 5 inches wide so that I can have about a 1/2 inch to turn in to the inside. Now I will tell you that when I made mine, my first one, I painted this. I had one that was more of the brown, the roll, the tube part. And so I painted it first and painted the insides as much as I could reach, let it dry, and then I did this. And after I did that, I thought, wow, that was a bunch of work for no reason. So you can do that if you want to. But, you know, there's something to be said for the magic of, you know, ease, I guess. And then I am wrapping that down to where it's just maybe almost 3/4 of an inch, and I'm coming up here and I am just going to cut that. And this can be used for something else at some time. And here's my paper. So, to start, I'm going to use my... Oh my gosh, did you see that? Man, I really must have put this lid on there tight. My whole top came off of my art glitter glue. I better be more careful about that. And you know what? Speaking of the art glitter glue, and you know the little pin that it comes with? The white pin with the stainless steel? Mine came apart. I ended up with the white ball by itself and then the pin. So that was no good. All right. So I am just gluing this, and then I am kind of centering. Let's see if I can get that up a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, about 1/2 inch on both sides. Glue that, rub it down nicely, and try to keep it tight. Don't be loosey-goosey on this part. Don't be loosey-goosey. All right, let me take that back just a smidge. Okay, and then on the end, I want to make sure that I am also gluing that. Covering nicely, and I'm just continuing to wrap it around and wrap. And that, evidently, I didn't roll that perfectly, or I was just a teensy bit off, but that will not matter. Okay, so paint versus paper. Paint, paper. I vote for paper. So then what I'm doing here, and what a person can do, and you can do this too. In fact, I'll show you both ways. Where this is just about a 1/2 inch in, I'm comfortable not making slits. But what I'm doing now, okay, let's get this a little closer now, again. Okay. I'm gluing the inside all the way around my tube. Okay. And hopefully you are watching. And now I'm just going to go around and I'm lightly tapping that. Just kind of folding it over lightly. And I'm just continuing in this manner to just kind of fold in, fold in, fold in, fold in, and then just press around. And just hug that really nicely. Okay? It's not bad. That's pretty good. All right. Let me show you the other method. And that will be, let's see, how to do this so you can watch. Okay, snipping and just little, I'm doing it, maybe 3/8 of an inch or a little more than a 1/4 inch snips, or you could do, 1/2 inch on your paper. Obviously, you're not going to do it past your, the cardboard. You're going up almost to the cardboard. Okay, so see, I've got all these. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue. So this way you can do it like so. You take each little piece or cut. See, I'm just putting the glue. I think this is more tedious, and I don't really feel it's necessary, but I do want to show you both ways because everybody has a different comfort, level, and you need to do it the way that you feel most comfortable doing it. And this is fun because it reminds me of, in elementary school when you make all those fun Christmas projects, bring home to your parents, and you just have so much fun and so proud of. Okay, there we go. We've got our paper roll ready. And of course this will slip over the top branch of your tree. And when I glued mine on, I will glue it where the seam is. This will be next to this, so that will not show. Okay, we're doing good. How are you coming along? If you need to put this on pause, go ahead. And I got glitter everywhere. I do, I really, really do. Okay, I'm going to take just a sec here, guys, and I'll be right back. I'm over here, you'll hear me. Plug your ears if you don't want to hear the heat gun. I am just trying to get this going more quickly so I can show you, continue this process. And of course, you can take the time to let yours dry on its own. And that is wonderful. Okay, I'm very happy with this. Now we need another, I need another doily. Let's set that aside. That this is going to back. Now this, you can do a couple of things here. And actually, I am going to go ahead, I'm going to shut the video off. I'm going to go ahead and use my spray glue. I have a place where I do that safely. I'm going to spray the back of this doily, and then I will come back and we'll put that on, and then we'll trim that. So I will be back. Okay. Now I'm going to try to kind of center this, and I am just pressing down. I'm going to get my little rag and continue to brush off the glitter. We know how that goes, don't we? All right. This is going to seem weird to you, but I want to use my small scissors, but before I do that, I want to cut off my excess to make it easier to use my small scissors. But you do, you know, whatever works for you, that's what you do. And this, I know, that looked really awkward even to me. So now I'm going to get my small little scissors going in here. And we are just going to give ourselves a little bit of an outline with our scissors. And I like to use some fine scissors that cut, you know, more detail finely for this, to give it more of a definition in my scallops. So you guys, I have all of my packages mailed. They finally, the last one got put in the mail yesterday. And so hopefully, oh, I'm so sorry. I just noticed that you weren't able to see this clearly. I apologize. I need to be more careful about that. But it's always such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling when I get to this point. Now we have one of our sons and daughter-in-law and a granddaughter that will be coming over Saturday, and we are going to be, last year we did gingerbread houses together, and I had so much candy, and a lot of it things that none of us, you know, really eat, and so it was more expensive than you know, it was fun, but it's like, oh, surely there's something else that we can do that will be just as wonderful and not waste all this candy. Okay, so here we go. Isn't that pretty? That gives just a really nice, this is all shimmery, and this is ready for my little angel. Now what I want to do is decide, do I want to paint her wings gold? And if I do paint them gold, might I want to add some more glitter to make them sparkle a little bit more? This angel wings, there you can see the shine, but it doesn't have the same sparkle that like the glitter, you know, the poinsettias do. But maybe that's, maybe I like that actually because it contrasts a little bit more, because you got sparkle here with your tinsel or garland, it's called both. And then you got this beautiful glitter with the poinsettias. And then here we have just the beautiful gold, the shimmer, the shine, kind of a satin finish is what it looks to be. I think I may not glitter that. Now let's take a look at these together and see. Okay, I really need you in my room. Could you pop on over, guys? Could you pop on over? I'll give you some fudge. We'll have a cup of herb tea or hot cocoa, or I have a Keurig, so if you bring your own coffee packets, you can pop one of those in too. I've got apple cider. Well, now what if I glittered this with gold? I really do feel like this needs to be contrasting. But eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tigger by the toe. Well, I'm going to do it the same as this, with one variation. See her little halo, kind of? I'm going to paint this gal. I'm going to put a little bit of white here, and then I'll put the glitter, and see if I like that just a teeny bit better than this. Don't get me wrong. I think this is gorgeous. I think this is very beautiful. All right. Well, okay. So let's go ahead then and paint. We'll do a little bit of painting. Get her wings gilded up here just a tad bit. Okay. Alrighty. Now when I did this on the other one, I did 2 or maybe it was 3 coats actually. Normally, I think I would use a flat brush. I'm too lazy to use 2 different brushes. And the little pointed brush actually goes into the hair a little bit better, a little bit easier. So that's why I'm being lazy and just using the one. It feels really good to just, I can't tell you, you guys, I have just the fondest memories of growing up with Christmases and that sweet little angel, and coming across this face that reminds me and is so similar to one. It just makes me think of my mom. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. You know, the holidays, we do, don't we? We think about those loved ones and of course wish they were here with us. At least I hope that's what it is for you. I know sometimes the holidays can be very difficult, and if that's the case for you, please know you're loved and that January will come and we can get things back to normal. Well, as normal as we can get during this pandemic. I know I was telling you about the cookie thing that we're doing on Saturday. I still have to figure out, got to watch some YouTube videos on decorating cookies, because we watch the cooking shows and they do such amazing things. Instead of doing the gingerbread, I thought it would be fun if we get a little fancier, but I don't know. My granddaughter wants to do the, the outline and floating so she can do the center part decorating. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to leave this lighter, because this kind of shows up the wing texture just a little bit more. I covered this so many times, you see no texture in the wings. It's still beautiful, but I think for this one I'm going to try and leave that alone. And I think we're going to put a little more glitter on, you guys. Oh no! And I say, oh yes! Let's get our gold out. And let's get another piece of paper from our... I keep all these papers from my Etsy shop. I print out the labels, and then half of it, because I don't need to keep the receipt. I've got it in my Etsy store. So I have a lot of these that I keep for this kind of a thing. All right, and I'm not going to do the normal, let's see, what do I want to do here? I'm going to do the art glitter glue for this and just glitter. And maybe I won't be so careful about, trying to be precise about covering everything, but give it that definition sort of by the glue. Does that make sense? Did I make sense? Sometimes I make sense. And sometimes I don't make so much sense. Where's my paper? Where is my paper? I just had it. You guys. What did I do with it? Oh, oh, wow. I have nothing to say. Okay, this is champagne. How embarrassing. But you know what? You're all my friends, so I can have these little weird oops in front of you, and you'll still love me, right? I hope so. I love mixed media art. And as you can see, I'm doing something a little bit different, because a lot of times I am combining fabric. Oh, now look at that. Isn't that kind of absolutely gorgeous? All right. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. So let's do the other side. And we will... That's like my new favorite. Gonna bring this back over. Where's my paper? That's like oft times I will have my phone in one of my hands and I'll be looking for my phone. Do you ever do that? Oh, golly. Do you guys decorate cookies? Do any of you ever decorate cookies? And if you do, what do you do? I would love your ideas and your thoughts and how you do those. Maybe we can incorporate that. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, we'll set her to the side here. I'm going to open this up and we will attempt to put this glitter back in. And this is a much finer glitter than what I used previously. Oh, that is really pretty. Now let's see how it looks on the doily. Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm excited. I'm excited. This is coming along nicely. How's yours looking? Is it good? All right. So this is not dry yet, but I'm going to go ahead and paint, if I can find my white. I'm just going to put just a little dab, and I'm just using Liquitex Basics. I like them, but I don't have a particular whatever, because I'm really not an artist per se. I'm a dabbler. I dabble at art, but I admire artists. And I have some friends that I consider are true artists, and their work is amazing. I'm okay with calling myself a mixed media artist, but I've always grown up with the thought or idea that really a true artist is someone who paints, who can draw and paint and do beautiful things in that respect. Okay, let me just touch it with my heat gun. Plug your ears, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, whoever. All right. That's not too bad. Now, oh boy. Look what we've got here. I have 2 doilies. All right. Well, I'm not going to separate those. So I am just going to glue down and glue where my spray glue, normally the spray glue takes care of this quite well. But I made a couple of mistakes, which is by no means abnormal for me. But normally my spray glue works just fine. I maybe need a new one. Be careful, you guys, when you're separating your doilies. Make sure that you have pulled just one, because otherwise your glue and your glue is going to be to one doily and your sparkle is going to be on the other doily. So then you have to do a little bit of, repair work like what I'm doing here. You got to repair it. Oh, okay. Well, I've definitely done that before. This is not the first time that I've ever thought I was getting one doily and had more than one. Let me just real quick grab something here and let's get that paint, and we will just paint it out. Always good to have something for another project. Don't want to waste it. Alrighty. Put my extra pages. I am looking forward to one of the things that I am going to be doing in 2021 is Susie, with Susie from Creative Studio. We are doing bullet journal together in 2021. I'm excited to have her join me in that, and I've decided I'm going to use a new journal instead of the same one like I was going to do. All right, what can we do next? So that will be coming up, which will be really fun, I think. Okay, we can go ahead. Let's go ahead with her and give her, let's do all this glittery stuff. Let's do all the glittery stuff and get that taken care of. And this I'm just going to cover. I think I'll do it again with the yellow. I think it kind of gives her a sweet halo. And we will. I always, dump more than what I need. And we'll just kind of press that down. Let's see. I like that. I like that. But either way, I mean, I like them both. But this is a little bit different. So we'll go with that. Okay. So I am going to go ahead now. I feel like I need to let everything dry carefully. And I don't want to use the heat gun and bore you with just listening to me use the heat gun. That doesn't sound terribly exciting to me. Okay, I will be back, guys, and catch up, put it on pause. I'd like to know where you're at in this process. Sometimes these things that we think are just going to whip up really, really fast, they take a little bit of time, and that's okay. So I'm going to go put my fudge back in the fridge. I'm going to give this some time, catch up on a few other chores, and then I will come back and we will continue on. All right. Okay, we are ready to continue on. These are dry enough that I can handle them without gooping everywhere. So let's go ahead and glue this little angel onto our doily, and we are not too far from being done, guys. And I have got my glue gun has been heating up while I've been crafting and chatting with you so that it will be ready to go. So we're almost to the place where you're going to need your glue gun. So you might want to think about getting that plugged in. All right. We'll just position this where we feel it looks good. I think that looks very pretty. I will press down. And I'm going to turn it over and press down as well. We want to make sure this is nice and sturdy. Okay. Wow, this is looking great. So let's go ahead and and you can see where I glued, but none of this will show. So I haven't ruined anything by doing that. I'm trying to just get a few things off my table. It's always, when I work on a project, I don't know, are you guys this way? When I work on a project, my desk gets smaller and smaller, and then I have about this much space that isn't taken up with stuff. And periodically I have to just stop and put stuff away and start again. And, you know, it just, yeah. You know, I know you guys do. Okay, so now it's time to glue our tinsel around. All right, and for this I definitely use the heat gun. And I am going to glue kind of right at the base of where the scallop comes in, maybe about a half an inch or quarter of an inch in. And I'm just going to try to keep that straight. So let's go ahead. We'll get my little nifty glue gun here. I used to use a glue gun for everything. And then I kind of got away from it. And for a project like this, it really does come in handy. It grabs quickly. And on this, you can't see it because it's covered up with the tinsel, but it has a, you know, the middle where everything is glued to or twisted to or whatever that is, that I press down on, and that keeps me from getting the hot glue all over my little pinkies. So I just take a little bit and just kind of go along and position it and lay it down. I want to make sure it's down really well. This is just, okay, I'm going to cut that off about right like that. We'll just set that off to the side. And the tinsel, it kind of comes off a little bit, but not bad. Nothing like the glitter. Nothing like the glitter. Okay. Alrighty. That's pretty good. It's not perfect, but this is looking pretty good. Alright. Now, this is where your raised cake plastic coated 4-inch, and mine I don't think is quite 4 inches. Well, maybe, I guess it is. I'm going to glue this down here, and I'll tell you why. The tinsel has, because of the spine, has a little bit of a ridge, and if I don't glue it something in the center here, then this won't lay, it'll poke in, and I don't want that look. That's why we add this. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the glue all over here. Sort of center this as much as we can. And I don't worry about if it's covering up some of the tinsel, that's fine. Because some of this, you know, it's a lot of tinsel. You'll still have plenty of shine. I just want to make sure that that is down really well. Okay. This is so exciting. Look, you guys, we're almost done. This is amazing. All right. Now, I am going to go ahead. Let's see. I want to make this sure that you can see. we are gluing this, and I'm kind of working a little bit quicker here because I don't want the glue to dry before I get a chance to put it on. Okay? And it doesn't matter as long as I center it. There's no top or bottom yet as far as that goes. Okay? Just pressing that down. Look how pretty. Oh, isn't she just pretty? I really like the glitter done on just a lighter bit of the gold. All right. We have this to cover now. I used this, and I will tell you, I crocheted, and this is a J, and I will just get it started here. I do a chain. I chained 12, and I've not used this particular yarn for a crocheted project, but I have to say that it's just a really fun. Sometimes it's hard to see. The chain goes fine, but then when you go back to do it, you kind of have to like, where is it? Anyway, and then I go back and I just a single crochet, and I just go back through. I do 3 passes, okay? That's just what I do. I don't know what's going to work the very best for you, but this is what I've got, and I just, oh, it's so sweet. So we are going to glue that to that. Oh, how sweet. And I think, yeah, I think I want this side. One side seems to show up. This must be the back because it shows where it comes together, and I don't want that to show. So I will glue it down this away. This away. Is this away even a correct phrase? I don't know that it is. Okay. Let's keep it going, guys. I am excited to get this project done and show you. This has been really a lot of fun. All right. I want her, a little bit of her neck area, you know, to show. I don't want to make it look like it's choking her, in other words. Okay? All right. All right, now we need our poinsettia. They really do look kind of like stars, don't they? With the gold. And I will decide where I'm going to position those. I want 2 and 1. Oh, so pretty. And here again, I'm going to use my hot glue to make sure this goes down. I'm going to position that nicely. And then I will glue these down, one kind of over another. we'll put this one here. And then, yes, then we'll position this one. Okay. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. That's so pretty. I can go ahead and remove this paper now. Now let's look at the two of them. Here's the first one that I made, and here is the second one that I made. Oh, so pretty. All right, time for the last bit. And this is one of the things that you are going to want to pay a little closer attention to. Where your top is. Like this is right here. So by making a mark on this side, then when I glue my tissue paper roll, my angel will be straight up and down. Did that make sense? Wait, you know what? I gotta look at this again. It actually is just a little bit to the side. It's more like that. And see, actually, if you don't want that to show, I should have done this in a pencil that you could erase. I'm sorry about that. I do try to keep things as neat as possible, but... Okay, now I'm going to flatten this a bit. It will still easily go over, but by flattening it, it makes the glue stick easier. All right, I just need to get another little glue stick. I ran out there, so let me quickly get another one of those, and we will finish this topper. Oh my goodness, how fun. Now, before I do that, actually, let's take a peek, see. What if I wanted to make this double-sided? Oh. Oh no, what do you think, you guys? How would that look on the tree? Oh, this is so pretty. Well, so you can do that. You can do double-sided. And you know what? I think I will do double-sided. I'm most likely I'm never going to make one of these again. I mean, we should be careful, I guess, about saying never, right? But at this point in my life, I think this will last me for probably as long as I'm living, and unless a child makes a tree topper that I feel is even more gorgeous, I will use that. I think I'm going to make this double. I think. So, at this point, guys, you would take this edge, where the seam is, glue that nicely, bring it down to the bottom, point it straight up, and then I would just hold it there for a little bit. Okay, I apologize. It cut off the very last of the video. So I will show you the finished product. I have glued these two together. It's been sitting up on the tree. It looks amazing. I love, love, love it. I suppose I could put some tinsel in between there as well, or you could do just like I suggested. You could do it as one, which would be perfect too. All right, guys, love you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.